Yo, what's happening, guys? Welcome to another episode of Rocco Unfiltered. You know me, I'm your boy Matt. I'll be honest with you guys. This is a video I really did not want to make, but I'm going to make it anyway because I feel it's only right. AC Milan lose 2-1 to their inner city rivals, Inter Milan, for them to clinch their 20th Scudetto. Yup, for the first time in Milan's history, they have conceded the title to Inter at home against them. That has never happened before in their history. And to say that they have never lost 6 derbies in a row is pretty scary. For me to say that Inter has been dominant against Milan over the last couple years is very frustrating. Now, do I blame the coach for this loss? Absolutely, I do blame the coach for this loss. Do I think the players were ready to go today? Yes and no. I think that they're completely deflated now, this team. I don't think they have anything left to play for anymore. They know they don't. They know their manager is done. So I understand why they played the way they did, but it's a fucking derby. You need to come out better than what you did. Now, let's talk about the game. The first 15 minutes, I would say, were pretty even. But then after, Inter get a corner, and I think us Milan fans know what happens when a set piece or a corner happens with them. You're thinking most of the time they're going to concede because Milan has done that most of the time. But this goal that Inter scored was so atrocious, it's not even funny. Look at this. What the fuck is that? What kind of defending is that, guys? My God. I'm telling you guys, when I talk about set pieces being a major issue, it was one of Milan's biggest problems this year, and that's a coaching problem. Now, after Inter scores that goal, Milan try to press a bit. You know, they have a very good chance in the 30th minute off a turnover by Inter. Milan comes in on a counter. Reinders chips it over to Musa. Musa comes down the flank and gives it to Leao. Leao has a very good chance to score far post, and he shoots it right at Sommer. I was really hoping Rafa could have went far post there, but he shot it right at the guy. So it was a hard shot. It was on his weaker foot, you know, so it was a difficult goal for me if you think about it. But then after Milan had another chance, I would say in the 39th minute, with Calabria, he had a great chance on net, and Sommer made a phenomenal save. Well, that was pretty much it for the first half. It was a very quiet second half. But then after, to start, first 3 minutes of the second half, you know, the summer signing for Inter that they made, man, oh man, I hate this bastard. I hate him so much. €1 million. He snubbed AC Milan for. Marcus Thuram. This bastard. I hate this guy so much, guys. You have no idea. He has haunted Milan since the minute he signed with Inter. Milan offered him in the summer. If you guys don't know, Milan had offered him €5 million per year. And Milan was negotiating with this guy for about a month almost. And then once Inter knew Lukaku was not going back there, Inter decided to swoop in and offer him $6 million a year. Now, you would think, Thuram, he has about 6 to 7 international teammates on his team at Milan, compared to Inter, where only a guy like Benjamin Pavard would be there, and he was also going there too for the first year. And this guy took the money and chose to go to Inter. So right off the bat, I want to say thank you, Giorgio Furlani, for wasting a month of our time to get Marcus Thuram. Thank you very much. And then waste it for nothing. You know, to watch our inner city rivals come in and steal him for $1 million more. Disgusting management by that guy alone. That's where Maldini was missed and is and will always be missed. Now, after that second goal, Inter really just shut it down, you know, kind of calm things down a bit. Then, you know, Pioli decides, I got to make changes because I'm down 2-0. Ironically enough, that's when Pioli decides to make changes, when his back's against the wall, right? So after that, Pioli makes changes, you know, and then about 70, 50, 80 minute mark, Milan decide to wake up and push. I don't know why they waited so long to decide to push. When it's a bloody derby, you should have been ready to go from the first minute. But of course, you know, they weren't up to the task, clearly. Then after about, like I said, the 80th minute. Samuel Chukwueze was one of the substitutes. He puts in a beautiful ball to Leao. Leao heads it in the middle. Gabia heads it in, and Tomori gets the rebound off the post. So it's 2-1 Milan. Milan tries to push for the last 15 minutes, but to no avail. They don't score. Inter shut it down. And as that whistle blows, I shut off my television in absolute anger and disgust, knowing that Inter has won their 20th Scudetto and getting the second star before Milan. Now, when I tell you guys one thing that I'm about to mention that happened at the end of the game, Davide Calabria. Serie A, can you please do me a favor and suspend that idiot for the last 5 games of the season? Please, please. Because that guy there is such an imbecile. I cannot believe he wears the armband for AC Milan just because he's a Primavera player. He is an absolute disgrace. And the fact that he wears the armband for a 7-time European champion disgusts me. Now, another thing I want to mention. Denzel Dumfries and Theo Hernandez's scrap at the end of the game. Listen, we know those two have been going at it for years. But I'll be honest with you. Denzel Dumfries, you can't hold a fucking candle to Theo Hernandez, buddy. You ain't even close to him. Not even close. Okay, pal? So, you know what? Denzel Dumfries, fuck you, buddy. Can't stand you. I'm sick of watching you. Every time you go up against Theo, he freaking schools you, pal. Take a fucking hike, eh? You know what? That's the one thing, though, that pisses me off now, guys, is that Victor Mori got accumulation of yellow cards. That's 5 yellow cards for him. He won't be there against Juventus. Teo's got an automatic suspension. He won't be there against Juventus. And we know about Calabria. I don't care if that guy's not there anymore for the rest of my life. I really don't give a shit. But to say that I had to watch Inter do what they did today was beyond heartbreaking, guys. Beyond heartbreaking. Now Milan need to go into the summer, sack Pioli the minute the season ends, and they need to hire the right manager. Now, I mentioned before in my previous video with Milan in the Europa League quarterfinal loss that I wanted Antonio Conte. I still stand firm on that decision. I still want Antonio Conte. But I don't know if the club is willing to deal with Conte and all the stuff that he brings. Now, the only reason why I understand that is because Conte can be very demanding. But the thing is, Conte's got a winning mentality. That's why I want the guy at AC Milan. Now, if Milan wanted to go and hire a guy like, say, Mark Van Bommel, I wouldn't hate the hire. Because Mark Van Bommel's got some manager experience. He's coaching Belgium right now for Royal Antwerp. They were in the Champions League this year. So he's got some experience per se. And he's a former Milanista, former teammate of Ibras. So he knows the Italian league and has some experience. You know, way better than a guy like a Julian Lopetegui, you know. Another guy I wouldn't mind grabbing is Porto's coach, Sergio Conceição. Porto have been consistently in Champions League for a long time now. I think the last 3 to 4 years, even longer if anything. I think they were the previous champion of Portugal. And they're the current champion, actually. They just won this year, I think. And I think he would be a very good young manager, and him and Leao would get along perfectly because, you know, they speak the language, and he has a very good attacking mindset, and he works well with young players because Porto works with a lot of young players, especially Conceição's son. He's only 19, 20 years old. So I think those two managers are very good hires if Milan were to hire them. Now, do I want to see... I have been hearing Lopetegui's close to West Ham. Thank God. Keep that guy away from my bloody club. No, thank you. Sarri wouldn't even be a horrible hire either, guys. If Sarri can get Milan to the way he had Napoli playing all those years ago when they almost beat Juve to the title, I wouldn't be opposed to that either. So, for me, it's still Antonio Conte, but those 3 other managerial names I mentioned would be very good hires for AC Milan, and I would not be opposed to them. Now, one more thing I want to mention is Stefano Pioli. All I got to say to you is thank you for those 5 years that you've given us, a Scudetto. But I'm going to say this right now and there, guys. 6 straight losses in the Derby is legacy tarnishing. The fact that this guy lost 6 straight derbies is, like I said at the beginning of the video, is disgusting. I'm telling you guys now, I don't think Pioli's going to be remembered much for this Scudetto, but more for maybe the 6 straight losses to Inter. Now, I know he'll be remembered for the Scudetti, but I think this 6 straight losses to Inter is going to seriously tarnish his legacy. And you know the saying, guys, in Batman from Harvey Dent, you either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. And that's what Stefano Pioli has become. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Forza Milan per sempre. I hope you guys liked this video. Subscribe if you guys liked it a lot. Thank you very much. And if you don't watch sports, you are mort. Ciao, guys.